Check out the dress. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, the tango. Thank you. Now see if you notice a difference with this other tango. Come on. So we just witnessed the first one is the ballroom tango. If you notice, it's very different, very stiff. The second one is called the Argentine Tango. Very different, right? Very, very different. So a little story about us. I was a ballroom dancer turned commercial jazz dancers. So in Los Angeles, I danced with Michael Jackson, Prince, Paula Abdul for 2 years. Did pretty good. She and I met in my jazz class. And jazz, she's a lifelong ballerina. So ballet and jazz is very, very solo work, right? It's me, myself, I, in control of my body. No influence, right? It's all about my work. In my class, sometimes it was fun. I'd throw my students in pairs, and they're like, oh, it's not that again, right? They hated it because they can't control everything. They had to share the leadership, or very different partner dancing. Naturally, when we met, she became my ballroom dancer, my ballroom partner, and it was very hard for her, like a ballerina, her whole life, stacked, strong, linear, bam, in charge, for her to let me lead her, to take her, right? And what happened is in rehearsal, in the beginning especially, I would like, let me lead, tap, let me, I got you, stop, I got you, stop, stop. Now I understand she's trying to help, right? That's their whole life is in charge. But in ballroom, if she anticipates the move, I get hurt, right? If I decide that I'm gonna go turn it this way, but she thinks I'm going this way, right? And doesn't really hear my signal, I get the elbow to the nose and the knee to the groin. Not cute, right? Not cute. So after rehearsal in the beginning, we were done and her hand was all red. I'm like, sorry, but it was part of the learning, right? So forward a few years, I got a job dancing with Julio Iglesias. Do you remember Julio Iglesias? Some people call him the most romantic Latin singer in the world. Look at me with a ponytail. Huh. Anyway, so what he had done is he cut a tango album, ironically called Tango. It was only released in Spanish countries, not in the United States. However, we shot 7 videos in Los Angeles, right, on sound stages, and he didn't hire tango dancer. We hired commercial jazz dancers myself because they wanted people, professionals, and familiar with sound stages and filming and that kind of stuff. So they want production to be quick. Okay, so that was my introduction to Argentine Tango. It's for that job, the purpose of that production, that I learned Argentine Tango. Now, all I can tell you is, ballroom dancer my whole life. And I give my partner, they teach us this stuff, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, it's so connected, intimate, right? And sort of, whoa, a world together. So it kind of had me question, like, why is it so different? What I discovered is ballroom is all linear and structured, and it's about performance. Ballroom dancing, right? Tango is connection, intimacy, and the world disappears around us. It's us. It's absolutely beautiful. So as a relationship coach for 18 years, it dawned on me the incredible similarities between Argentine Tango dancing and relationship dynamics, healthy relationship dynamics. So much so that I got so excited when I discovered this. Like the metaphors are beautiful. And I thought, I need to share this with the world. And I thought, well, what better platform than TEDxStamford? Ta-da! Thank you. So the first thing I discovered the dynamics that relate is that in my world, 50-50 doesn't exist. I've never seen it work. What works is polarity. What works is yin and yang. What works is opposites, right? And we've all heard the opposites attract kind of line, right? In my world, it's essential for relationships to go long-term healthy. Opposites. It looks like this. Check it out. So I want you to think for yourself in your past relationships or present that are kind of flowing, working. In all relationships, even business partners. Are you ready? One's extroverted, one's introverted. More. One likes to spend money, the other one likes to save money. More. Right? One talks a lot, the other talks less. Right? There's always a complete opposition. Right? One understands the risk of taking chances, right? The benefit of taking risks in life. The other one's like, but what if? We can't, right? One's a worry-ward, the other one's calm, right? My favorite is one is always afraid to get dumped somehow, and the other one's afraid to get lost in the relationship. Which one are you? There's one of each. It's fascinating. So in my world, it looks something like this. I have a client in Florida. She's a lawyer, she works for her father, she makes good money and has a lot of freedom. And with that, she travels. Beautiful. After working with me, she attracted herself a strong, masculine man. He's also a lawyer. And so within a few weeks, she calls me up in a panic. She's like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I go, what, that guy? That guy's great, what are you talking about? She goes, no. She goes, I just found out he doesn't travel. Right? He's never been out of the United States. He's never been out of Florida. We're completely incompatible. It's not gonna work. And I'm like, actually, it's probably the reason why it's going to work. She's like, yeah. So I explain, I go, in relationships, it's the polarity that extends and expands ourselves. Somebody else's interests, not values, values have to line up. Interests and hobbies and things have to be opposite, right? We expand our lives by them bringing something different to our lives. And back and forth, that's the magic, that's the polarity, that's what actually pulls us together for a long time. Right? So I said, well, check this out. How about you introduce him to the world of traveling? Right? Discover the world, different countries, different cultures, different foods. What a gift. You could pull him into that. You do this easily. I go, on the other side, he may actually teach you to save some money, right? Invest it for a good future instead of traveling to Europe 4 times a year. You see it? Expanding each other's lives by bringing different dimensions that you can't get to on your own. That's the point. That's what healthy relationships do. They come together this way. Well, it doesn't work. I have a lady in New York City. She's really feisty and very active, and she likes to ski and play tennis and cycle in the summer. Beautiful. And in her mind, her perfect mate, perfect boy, guy, had to be similar interest completely. And I tried to explain to her and say, that's not really it. About weeks later, she found herself a European guy, of course, who skis, of course, right? Plays tennis and blah, blah, blah. So she's like, fantastic, I found my man. We're compatible. Not yet. We're compatible. Like, she was so excited, so much so they moved really fast in the relationship. Months later, she calls me, all distraught. She goes, we have a problem. She goes, our intimacy is down the toilet. Like this gone way too fast. We haven't been together long enough for this to be. Right? And I go, remember I tried to tell you earlier, months ago, right? I go, you guys are the same. You guys are buddies. You guys are pals. You have no polarity. You don't bring anything to each other. What do you talk about? You know what I mean? And so what happens is when you neutralize each other as opposed to polarize each other, opposites attract, and it's often it makes things complicated, opposites attract, but again, that's the juice. You have to negotiate that. You have to work that to keep the juice. Does that make sense? So they neutralize each other, right? Now they're roommates. They moved in together. They were together 8 months. Wah, wah. Relationship failed. She was devastated. That was her man. Not so much, right? So let me take you back a little bit. Before my last relationship with my wife, my last girlfriend was a 9-month relationship. And over the course of 9 months, we obviously discussed the future, marriage, children, right? And at one point, she throws on my head. She goes, well, I'm going to tell you one thing. If we have a boy, he's going to be circumcised right away, no questions. What? And she went on to explain. She is a redhead naturally, and she's a red head everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And so, seriously, it's a true story. And so her entire life in the locker room, she was made fun of because of her red, right? Like shamed, embarrassed, So her thinking, she's like, I'm not going to have my son be different in the locker room, being made fun of and tortured like I was, so he's getting fixed. I'm like, my dad would say, this is God's design. We don't mess with God's design. Nobody's getting altered. And I said to her, my son's never going to get altered. Huge fight over possible birth, right? So what I discovered in that moment is that this woman was not a team player, right? She dug her heels. She refused to back down. There was no conversation to walk away from me. I'm like, whoa, how do you build a relationship with somebody like this? Dictatorship. No. We broke up, right? So it's kind of sad. Now, take it back to our lives, my wife and I. My firstborn, now you understand, if any of you have children, the firstborn throws your life on its ear, right? It's a kick in the head, right? Like it's crazy stuff. And stuff that comes up that you can't imagine, if you're not a parent, that you have to discuss, talk about, figure out, blah, blah, blah. It's endless. When my son was born, he was literally in the delivery room. He's 4 minutes old, right? I'm standing next to the nurse who's wiping him down, right? I'm a little like, whoa, I just have a son, right? And she says to me in that moment, this woman, she's like, so we need to schedule a circumcision. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. What? And then she looks over her right shoulder, Doc, they're not going to circumcise him. Shame in her voice, trying to it was really crappy, right? It made me mad. So I'm like, I shut that down. But days later, right, I talked to my wife. I'm like, so what do you think about the circumcision thing? What she did was rude, but, right, like something I don't believe in at all. But what do you think about this? Like, what's your take on that? And she's like, I have 5 older brothers. I have no idea if they are, right? She said, fair. And so she thought for a minute, and she's like, you know what? She goes, you have the penis. You decide. Thank you. Now, that's a team player. You see it? Something came up. We discussed it. What do you think? What do I think? But that one especially, right? Woo, please. So that's the magic, right? We come together. We negotiate the things. Again, the avalanche of stuff that comes from the birth of a child, right? Endless avalanche. Stuff like, how do we raise him? How do we discipline him? If you don't agree on this, hello, chaos in your life. Seriously, right? How do we parent him? Who does what when, right? The chores, the responsibilities. Does she stop working? And if so, for how long, right? And then daycare, if she works, oh, I don't want that. I don't want anybody raising my kid, right? Another conversation, right? And then school districts, are we in a good school district? Do I have to move to good, right? An avalanche of stuff. But that's what healthy relationship people do. They come together, they have all the difficult conversation, especially when they're difficult, right? They have to come together, hash it out, and come to a conclusion. Now, in my world of dance, the metaphors, it looks something like this. Now, I'm going to show you something that you probably did not notice in the first demonstration, but it goes like this. Check it out. I'm leading her. And some ochos here. I'm leading her. Just check it out. And the moment I stick my foot out, I'm passing the lead on to her. She's now in charge. This is a signal. Now watch what she does with this. Watch the beauty. Watch this. You're going to forget I'm alive right now. Look at this. Hoop. Sorry. Hoop. Hoop. That's all her. Right? I'm assisting her by using my hands to move her back and forth. But she's doing whatever she wants until, watch this, puts her feet back together, which means you take the lead back. And I take the lead back. Boom. Thank you. Thank you. What's next? So that's how it works. You know what I mean? It's really, the real way relationships work is, like I said, ballroom is very rigid. It's like I lead, she follows. This is not. This is me and her, and I give it to her. She does beautiful stuff, right? Do you notice, like, the moment she started doing the legs, you all, like, stop looking at me? Not that I care, right? But it's like she beautifies everything, right? And that's what she does in our lives, right? She brings warmth to our life. She turned her house into our home. She brings colors to my black and white world and the kids. Her femininity just brings me forward. I want to provide, I want to protect it, right? Her, the kids, nature, instinct, polarity, coming together. You see what I'm up to here? So let me throw something else at you. Every season we throw a holiday party, right? Dance party, of course, to bring our friends and acquaintances and we have fun, right? And my friend Vinny, who is my best man, comes to almost all of these. This year, after we're dancing, he corners me and he goes, you know what, Dre? He goes, if you could just teach me how to have a woman look at me the way Nancy looks at you, dude, I'd be set for life. Sweet. But he's been watching us for years, not only dance, but do life together, right? So what am I saying here? Am I saying that all of you should learn Argentine Tango? Yes. I promise you the things you learn, the finesse, right? The back and forth, the connection, the intimacy, and the, you take it. Oh, I'll take it back. Right? The back and forth, it's like a healthy relationship. It's quite beautiful. So, yes, I think you should all learn the tango. The things, the way you'll come together is unbelievable. However, at the very least, I'd like you guys to take away some of the ideas that I share with you today. How polarity is essential. It's essential. Don't fight it. This is what most people do. They collide. They're trying to change the other, right? Trying to make him act right, trying to just correct them. No, embrace them. Talk about them. Essential. 2, becoming 1. Having each other's back. Essential, right? And this is where you work it all out, like adults, right? This is when you actually create a beautiful dynamic, order, structure in the household, creating intimacy, creating harmony, and peace. That's just how it works. It's not that hard. You see? But we tend to fight each other, push against each other. That's what doesn't work. So, if I may, yes, I'm now going to show you how she and I relate in life through dancing to tango by doing this little steppity step for you guys. We'll try not to trip. It's kind of a trip. So, here goes. All the...